Bad Day All Around, Volume 2, Bad Day All Around, a lecture on divine mercy, distributive suffering, and the arithmetic of grace. Let us begin with the premise, which is, like all true premises, clothed in a joke, a divine joke, a joke with teeth, a joke that cuts through sentiment and winds up in theology before you know what's happened. God says, bad day all around. And that's it. He says no more. That's the decree. That's the assessment. That's the weather report, the budget forecast, the divine ruling from on high. It is spoken once, and it applies to all. But now, pause. Do not rush past the language, for language here is everything. As you have rightly seen, God does not say, 7 billion bad days today. He does not assign each individual their own personal catastrophe. He does not hand out sorrow like ration bread. No, he simply says, bad day, all around. That is, one single bad day, shared. And in that difference, between one bad day for all versus billions of bad days individually distributed, lies a theology of cosmic restraint, divine mercy, and even, dare I say it, justice. Let us explore. 1. The arithmetic of suffering. We tend to think of suffering as private, isolated, singular. My pain is mine, your loss is yours. The accident that derailed your week is not connected to the one that destroyed mine. But what if suffering were a shared commodity? What if pain, like oxygen, were distributed across the globe in one common pool? This, it seems, is the proposal embedded in the phrase, bad day all around. God, in this picture, is not doling out punishment. He is distributing weight. One single bad day, fractured, parceled, disseminated across the species. Not hoarded, not targeted, but shared. One child weeps because their parent is gone. Another weeps because their ice cream fell on the floor. Neither sorrow invalidates the other. Both are part of the same current, one mighty river of ache flowing around the world, all part of the same day. So we begin to see this God is not indifferent to pain. This God is not causing pain. This God is managing it. He is containing the bad day. He is limiting it. He is holding back the sea so the village might breathe. Yes, it hurts. But imagine what would happen if the tap were opened fully. If he said, not one bad day all around, but let it rip. We would not last a minute. So this God, the laughing one, the theatrical one, the mad scientist of light and darkness, he is also somehow the merciful one, because he says one, just one bad day. 2. The nature of mercy. Now let us talk about mercy. Mercy is not the absence of judgment. It is the restraint of power. It is what remains when justice could punish, but chooses instead to limit the blow. And here we see it, God could unleash more. And yet he does not. He does not destroy cities. He does not level the planet. He does not abandon the fragile, failing creature called human. He simply says, one bad day, one. That word, one, is the miracle, the gift, the mercy. And the fact that he says it cheerfully, even with a maniacal chuckle, does not cancel the mercy. It deepens it. Because it means he knows. He sees. He understands exactly what one bad day costs. He knows what a single death does to a mother. He knows what cancer does to the quiet husband who never learned to ask for help. He knows what it feels like to lose everything, even when everything was barely enough. And still, he says, that's enough for today. Just one. That's restraint. That's mercy. 3. The mystery of proportionality. One of the strangest questions in theology is not why is there suffering, but why is there not more suffering? Look around. Our lives are suspended on strings. Disease, disaster, betrayal, war, collapse, all possible, all at hand. And yet most of us, on most days, wake up, drink coffee, go to work, laugh at a joke, listen to music, sit in traffic, sleep. Why? Because somewhere, someone is keeping the floodgates from opening. This God, our God, is not absent. He is actively regulating the chaos. He is not preventing all sorrow, but he is measuring it, weighing it, diluting it, making sure the weight of the one bad day does not fall too hard on too few. And this is why it's bad day all around, not here and not there, but everywhere, in doses, so that we all carry a portion of the storm, so that no one place breaks under the total weight. 4. Shared burden, invisible mercy. We live under the illusion of personal sorrow. We think, why me? We say, this is my burden. But the truth, more often, is we are all carrying the same day. The man in New York loses his job. The woman in Lagos loses her mother. The child in Bangkok cries because she spilled her milk. The teenager in Dublin loses a friend. The old man in Peru can no longer walk. And all of it, taken together, becomes the one bad day. We suffer, yes, but we suffer together, and that is the mercy. Not that we avoid the dark, but that the dark is distributed, evened out, so that no single life contains all of it, so that the worst day is always shared, always split, always spread thin, so that we can endure. 5. The ethics of God's decision. It would be easy to see this system as unfair. Why should the innocent child carry even a drop of the pain caused by a tyrant? Why should one who suffers deeply be given no reprieve, while another weeps over petty griefs? But this is to misunderstand the point. God is not assigning pain based on guilt. This is not a judgment system. It is a weight-bearing system. And in this system, innocence is not an exemption. It is a reason to be trusted with the burden. God gives to each what they can carry, no more, no less. To the strong, he gives the visible grief. To the weak, he gives a fleeting sadness. To the broken, he gives just enough to not break them further. And to the innocent, he gives the ache of the world, because only the innocent will not turn it into violence. This is how the system works. It is not fair, it is merciful. 6. The divine joke revisited. So now we return to the joke. God wakes up. He surveys the world. He smiles. He says, "Good morning. Bad day all around." He's laughing. But not because he doesn't care. He laughs because he knows something we don't. He knows that the weight of the day will not break us. He knows that we'll make it. He knows that the child will stop crying, that the friend will call, that the sun will rise. He knows that grace is still stronger than grief. And so he laughs. Not because the day is not bad, but because the badness is not the end. It is only the condition of becoming. It is the resistance against which we grow. 7. What we learn from one bad day. We often ask, how can I go on? But we rarely ask, what if I had to carry the whole day alone? You see, in this vision, what we learn is that we don't. You don't carry the whole sorrow. You carry your part. Your neighbor carries theirs. The man in Bangladesh, the mother in Idaho, the doctor in Beirut, the musician in Seoul, all of them are carrying a piece of it too. And though you may never meet, you are siblings in the same burden. You are all bearing the same cross, each from your own angle, each in your own way. And that knowledge, that we are not alone in this weight, that is what makes it holy, because it makes it possible to bear it together. 8. If God unleashed 2. Let us imagine, just for a moment, that God had said something else. 2 bad days all around. What would happen? The system would crack. The load would be too much. The levees would break. The thin margin that holds life together would give way. There would be no laughter, no child's play, no ordinary sadness, no manageable grief, only chaos, only despair, only darkness. And so he doesn't. He doesn't say 2. He says 1. Every day he says 1. Because in doing so, you lighten your own burden and theirs. And you transform the bad day into something more than pain. You transform it into solidarity. And that is the beginning of hope. 10. A final blessing. So let us bless the bad day, not because we like it, but because it reveals us, to ourselves, to each other, to God. Let us bless the one who said 1. Let us thank him for his restraint, even if we do not understand his methods. Let us honor the pain, not by worshiping it, but by carrying it with mercy. And when God laughs again tomorrow morning, when he wakes up and says, "All right, everybody, bad day all around," let us reply, yes. And still, we rise, not because he is cruel, but because he knows we can handle 1 together. And so he says, 1, and then he watches, and we somehow survive. 9. The mercy in the mirror. And so, when you see someone weeping, when you read a story of loss, when you yourself feel your heart collapsing inward, remember, this is the part of the bad day you've been asked to carry. You're not being punished. You're being entrusted. Your sorrow is part of something bigger, and your resilience is too. So do not ask why me. Ask instead, who else is carrying this today? And then, how can I help them carry it?